What's up, guys? It's KB. Make sure you subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss a single video from us. And thanks for tuning in to another video from Underground Sports Philadelphia. Now let's get into it.
Philadelphia, baby, you're going to love it. Best sports fans in the world. Actually, the worst, but that's what makes them the best.
What is going on, OTB Nation? Happy New Year, everybody. And welcome in to the allegedly award-nominated number 9 NCAA ranked, Shrek ranked, and of course, viewable on YouTube, Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. It's KB, it's Deej, first episode of OTB in 2023. Is it 2020 OTB? Let us know. We got to figure out something because it rhymes. 2023, the year of OTB. Who knows? We did get called out. Before we even continue, Deej, I was recording the Get in the Hole podcast one last time as the fill-in host with Stephen McAvoy, friend of our program, known Redwoods fan, former high school classmate of Kyle Thornton. He cut one of the most insane promos on Get in the Hole I've ever seen. Said, I love everybody who works for our company. I think all of our content is great. But I just want you all to know that Get in the Hole is going to be the number 1 podcast on the network this year. And I love the tenacity. I love the swagger and arrogance. But if you come for the Kings, you best not miss. So love that. But go subscribe to the Get in the Hole podcast. Steve does a great job. Jake Dippold, the new co-host, coming on this coming week. You're not going to want to miss that at Pitch and Chips all over the socials. He's got like 18,000 TikTok followers. So go check out Jake and Pitch and Chips. Very excited to bring him into the fold. I think he's going to be an awesome addition to our company. But we have big things to get into on this episode. We've got to recap New Year's Eve of the NLL. We had our live stream, obviously, for the OTB cast on New Year's Eve. We'll dive into those 3 games. We'll give out the OTB awards. We'll get into a Week 6 preview. And, of course, we'll check out Deej's State of the Fandom, see how everybody performed heading out of 2022 and into 2023. And then we'll get into our picks, first pick segment of the week, of the year. And then we've got a PLL schedule to break down. And we had breaking news yesterday, as we record this Friday morning, about a lacrosse legend who will be retiring at the end of the year. But before we get started, make sure you guys are following us on the socials at OTBLaxPod, Twitter, Instagram. Follow Deej on Twitter at SCS_NextGreat. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. It really does go a long way for helping the show continue to grow. I've seen more coming in on Apple recently, which is very cool. Keep them coming. I love seeing that. And if you leave a review, we'll read them on the show. So make sure you leave a 5-star rating and review on Apple and Spotify. And, of course, subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. That's where you get full video episodes of OTB. You get the OTB cast live streams throughout the NLL season. And, of course, you get card openings. You get original content. Everything on the YouTube channel. Go subscribe. We're at 352 subscribers as of this recording. I think by the end of the month, we should be able to get to 400. Let's make that happen, people. OTB Nation, come through. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Smash that like button. Ring the bell icon. Comment down below your thoughts on everything Deej and I touch on this episode. And go get your merch. PHI Apparel Company. They're the best in the game, guys. They are the official home to all of our merch. And as of this recording, Outside the Box hoodies are live for the very first time. This is first edition OTB hoodies. Kind of think of a Hype Beast. We're calling them Hyper Beast. It's the Hyper Beast capsule. Nice little OTB. Go look at our Twitter and look at our Twitter banner. Put that on a hoodie, and that's what you got. Very affordable hoodies. Go scoop and score your hoodie, as it says on the website. I think the gray looks amazing. It looks very much like our logo, right above DJ's head. If you're watching on YouTube, it's that color gray. It looks sweet. There's 4 options for the OTB hoodies, but there's hoodies for Underground Sports Philadelphia that look awesome. Streamer season, get in the hole and top bin. So if you're a listener of any of our podcasts, you can get hoodies now. It's hoodie season, everybody. They're $40. Where are you getting a $40 hoodie in this day and age? Nowhere. And guess what? You can use our code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order and make it even cheaper. So go to phiapparel.co and use code UNDERGROUND for 10% off your order. Get your hoodies. It's the most effective and direct way to support everything Deej and I are doing with OTB and what we do as a company for Underground Sports Philadelphia. Get your merch. Use code UNDERGROUND so they know that it's, from us and you're supporting us. Got to use that code. Plus, you're saving money. 10% off at phiapparel.co. What's poppin', Deej? You're at the career.
At the career.
Pulling double duty.
Hey, always. I'm always doing more than I should be. That's just life, man. I need to chill out. I really do. But I'm ready, man. This weekend's going to be nuts. I got a whole bunch of lacrosse to watch, dude. I mean, I don't even know how I'm going to do that.
It's going to be wild.
Pulling up the multicast, 4 games at once.
Yeah, we're going to have a bunch of games all on at the same time. But we do have 3 games to recap real quick for you. It's Week 5 recap, brought to you by our friends at Tomahawk Shades, the best small batch eyewear in the game. Guys, you can get your sunglasses, your blue light glasses, and if you're a skier or a snowboarder, go get your snow goggles at tomahawkshades.com. Kyle Harrison is part owner. Chris Hogan is part owner. Ever heard of them? Pretty much, legends of the game. Along with Daniel Descalzo and John Jay for all the baseball fans out there. All 4 of them own Tomahawk Shades. So go to tomahawkshades.com. Use code USP for 25% off your order at tomahawkshades.com. That's code USP for 25% off at checkout at tomahawkshades.com. Stay styling and profiling all of 2023 with Tomahawk Shades. Recapping Week 5, scores looked like this. Buffalo topped Halifax 18-13 during the OTB cast, and then we rolled it over to the nightcap. The Seals hold on to beat Calgary 17-14, and then the Saskatchewan Rush pull out a New Year's Eve win 11-9 over Panther City. You and I both went 2-1 in our picks, respectively, which is very good for the brand. Follow our picks. If you're a gambling person, which shout out to Hoots, he made a parlay a couple weeks ago with my picks and hit a 5-leg parlay with my picks, the way he stacked them and everything. So if you are a gambler and you follow our picks, tweet at us. We'd love to see you riding with us. But overall, I think it was a solid final weekend of 2022 for the NLL. The Bandits game was great. It was just scoring galore, and I think Buffalo just had more juice in that one. I think the home floor advantage played a little bit of a part in it. Halifax for a little bit couldn't buy a shot, and Buffalo took advantage of that. That was kind of the story of that game from when we were watching and opening cards and going crazy. So if you want our commentary on that, go check out the OTB cast. And then I predicted the way the San Diego game would go post-halftime. It was 13-5 at halftime in favor of the Seals. They end up winning 17-14. I said, I think Calgary's going to make a little bit of a comeback, and the Seals will hold on. They did just that. That was easily, I think, best game of the weekend. Even though it started off slow, it ended up being a great game. That needs to be a rivalry. You felt it more and more kind of bubbling over during that game too, which I think is good for the league. It's good for the West Division to have those guys as rivals. It makes sense on paper when 3 of your superstars leave Calgary and go to San Diego. That game was electric. And then, Deej, you got a chance to watch Panther City and Saskatchewan. What were your takeaways from that one as you got a big dub in our pick segment?
Pretty much it was the opposite of Buffalo Halifax in terms of being a very close game, but defenses really stood out, transition really stood out, loose ball play, goalie play, that kind of stuff, because goals were so far and in between. I mean, the score at the end of the third was 9-8, I want to say, or maybe it was 10-8. So there was only 1 or 2 goals, maybe 3 at most, scored in the fourth quarter. So they were only averaging between the two teams 4 goals a quarter, because it was 11-9, so that's 20. Yeah, it's like that's 5 goals a quarter between the two teams. Like, there's not a lot of scoring here in what we're used to, but it was literally the energy. It was fantastic, and it came down to that home court advantage. Saskatchewan feeling comfortable at home, having their fans there, feeding off that energy. Robert Church, insane.
Took you to church?
Hey, it was an early service for me because Sunday hadn't even hit yet. Crazy. Man's balled out. But, I mean, Mark Matthews is still doing his thing. They just look really good in Saskatchewan. They're at that point where it's playing at home, no matter who's coming, you can't rule them out because of that fan base is back. And they said they would be. Credit to that fan base. They told us the Rush would be back.
They look good, man.
They look fantastic. I don't know if it was going and getting Alex Bouquet.
He's
totally
been fantastic.
changed this team around. But, I mean, it seems like the offense feels more comfortable knowing that the defense can help them out a little bit.
We follow Bouquet on Instagram, and he posted like just a slideshow of photos from that game recently, and the caption was, "This is the medulla oblongata." He's such a weapon. Yeah, I mean, overall, the games this past weekend were fantastic, even on a short slate. So, props to the teams that won: Buffalo, San Diego, and Saskatchewan. Saskatchewan ruining the purple parlay, which is a little bit of a bummer, but big win for them. They needed it, especially with San Diego hanging on to win. Kind of helps them juggle a bit with Calgary now with a loss in their loss column. But this is what the standings look like across the league. All alone at the top of the East, the Rochester Nighthawks sit at 3-0. Buffalo and Halifax both at 2-1, but Buffalo obviously now has that tiebreaker in hand currently. Albany and Philadelphia both at 1-1. Toronto at 1-2. Georgia at 0-2, and the Riptide at 0-2. And then the West looks like this. San Diego all alone at the top at 3-0. Saskatchewan does jump Calgary. They're 2-1. Calgary 2-1. Colorado 1-1. Panther City 2-2. The Desert Dogs 0-2, and the Vancouver Warriors 0-3. Warriors did make a goalie change this week. They released Steve Fryer. Shout out to the deep man. I'm sure he'll get picked up by somebody that will appreciate his services a bit more. And give him a better situation.
Calling him the deep fryer is crazy.
Well, no, the deep man I called him because everybody he's deep.
I immediately thought deep fryer. And that's insane.
That's hilarious.
That's insane.
Let's give out our Week 5 OTB awards. We give an award out for
name of the week, deep fryer.
Comment #deep fryer in the comment section on YouTube. The OTB awards this week, I think it's pretty easy to give the offensive player of the week to Josh Byrne. 12 points, 7 goals, 5 assists. I think it's a no-brainer. He led the league in points this past week, so I'm giving my nod to Josh Byrne. Is that your nod as well?
Absolutely. No question.
The goalie of the week, I think it's got to go to Matt Vince.
I don't know.
Only reason I say that is the saves total. He had more saves than Bouquet, but I can hear your argument for Bouquet getting it, and I'm not mad about it.
I just don't know because it's like
here's the comparison. Bouquet had 9 goals allowed and 38 saves. Matt Vince had 13 goals allowed and 44 saves.
It's just like I don't want to punish Bouquet for Panther City's lack of execution.
Right.
And because I feel like if they were to take 50 some shots, he would have had 40 some. He probably would have had 50 saves. But it's just the matter that they couldn't execute that well. I'm not opposed to any.
Panther City had 47 shots on goal, for comparison sake here, and Halifax had 57 shots on goal.
Yeah.
That Matt Vince faced. So 10 more shots he faced, gave up 4 more goals in those 10 shots, but had, what was it, 6 more saves.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with either.
First co-award?
I'm not mad about it. Matt Vince and Alex Bouquet, co-goalie of the week. Book it. The defenseman of the week. Kind of wanting to give it to a first time based on the turnovers caused. Buffalo's Kellen LeClaire had 4 turnovers caused against Halifax. Led the league in caused turnovers.
What did the San Diego defense look like?
Danny Logan led them in caused turnovers with 2. And Kyle Rubish led the other game with 2.
Right. What are blue season points looking? Tyler Pace had 9 points in this game. That's nuts. I did not know that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to that. He actually had a really good game. I was trying to figure out who he was most of the game. I'm like, who is this kid?
Yeah, I think he's a rookie. I'm not 100% sure.
Right.
But I mean, hell of a game against Halifax to get 4 close turnovers. So, Kellen LeClaire, your defenseman of the week. And what else do we typically hand out? It's been a while because we didn't have a week of awards. Oh, rookie of the week. Duh. I think we give it to Kellen LeClaire.
So then do we give defenseman to someone else? Or are we going to let him double up?
I think we let him double up. It's the first time we've ever mentioned his name. I think we start the new year off with grace and generosity and give Kellen LeClaire a double up.
I'm down
there
for
it is. Josh Byrne, your offensive player of the week. Kellen LeClaire, your rookie and defensive player of the week. And your co-goalies of the week, Matt Vince and Alex Bouquet. Deej, after a wild week 5, let's get into your state of the fandom. 3 teams played. Did anybody fall out of your good graces? Is anybody out of your good graces heading into 2023? Or is everything pretty much the same? New year, same you.
Vancouver is definitely treading dangerous waters. They were already a little sketchy last year. Their color scheme doesn't help. Their fiasco this summer, and now you aren't at least going to try and cover that up with very good play and be 3-0. Like at least
1 and 2.
Make bad mistakes in the summer and make up for it because you're good. Like at least that doesn't excuse it, but at least makes me feel a little bit better. No, so they're close to hitting the sack, honestly. But also I really like Calgary again. I mean, sure they lost this week, but they're playing at a high level this year, and to fall to a team like San Diego with all the now history that they have between the two of them, and to come back the way they did and be
I think the comeback
says it. Like there's a lot of heart in that team, and that's something I thoroughly look for in anything is, do you care? Do you love your sport? Are you out there playing to get a paycheck and out there playing to keep yourself, in shape, or are you playing because you have a true passion? And you don't see that as much in lacrosse as you see in other sports, but it does still happen with certain players.
Oh yeah.
So that'll turn me off, but they are a team that is in it.
I like that. Do you have a New Year top 5? How everybody's stacking up?
Changed.
Hasn't changed.
No.
So there we go. That's Deej's
'Cause,
state of the fan.
So many teams were off in the
Yeah.
past 2 weeks and everything. I don't want to unfairly move someone up or down.
It'll ramp back up this week. We got
Yeah.
7 games on deck coming at you. Week 6 preview here before we get into our picks. Week 6 looks like this. Philadelphia heads to Las Vegas for a first-time matchup there. Panther City heads to Rochester. Halifax going to Albany. Georgia hosts Buffalo. The Riptide hosts the Toronto Rock. The Colorado Mammoth hosts the Calgary Roughnecks. And the San Diego Seals host the Vancouver Warriors. That's your Week 6 slate. Deej, I'll start with you. Any games that stand out to you that you're going to be kind of looking for, some hot starts out of the gate for 2023 from some of these teams?
Let's see. Honestly, Toronto, New York is intriguing. Toronto coming off a loss. New York still searching for their first. Calgary, Colorado also. They've both kind of taken that back seat as number one in the West and being top tier. They've kind of slipped a little bit. So they're both still trying to find traction on their feet. Really, Calgary is a little bit farther in that than Colorado, in my opinion.
That's a big game with Saskatchewan being off this week, too.
Yeah. So, like, Calgary could jump and Colorado could just be back in the mix. Like, that's a huge game.
And I think if Colorado wins, they jump to they definitely jump to third. I think they stay in third, though, because Saskatchewan beat them.
Yep.
But either way, there's, position jogging to potentially happen from that game alone.
Mm-hmm. Halifax and Albany is probably the last one I'm really looking at.
I wish Nards was healthy.
Ooh.
Because Nards versus Jake Withers is always a battle at the dot. But that Albany defense against Halifax's offense is going to be an intriguing matchup, nonetheless.
I don't know now.
Albany's played how many games? 2.
3? No, 2. Yeah.
I don't know if they played any without Nards yet or not.
No, they haven't. Not this year.
But I still think Albany's defense helps them a ton. I still think their transition game is really, really good, even without Nards. Can still be very talented. I'm just intrigued with that matchup of the offense versus the defense in that game. Like I am with almost every single high-powered offense going up against that defense.
Yeah, it helps. I just don't know if it's if now another game takes kind of precedent over that.
I think Buffalo, Georgia is very intriguing. This is it's a big game for Georgia because they are 0-2. If they fall to 0-3 and all of their losses, I'm pretty sure, are to the East, that's uh-oh territory early in the year.
Yeah, but I don't – there's no disrespect in this, but it's just the goalie situation. You know what I mean? I'm not looking at this game as a game that's popping at my eyes because I don't see – the goalies haven't really gotten a lot of help from their defense in front in the first place. And now we're asking them to go against, probably the top offensive team in the East. Not statistically, because Rochester's killing the game, but Buffalo is probably, especially
on paper, they are
the best offense. So it's you're asking a team that's already struggling on defense with new goalies to play against that team.
In terms of importance, though, Georgia's got to play their best game of the year so far.
No, they have to,
if not better.
Yeah, it's a very important game for them. But I could see a Philadelphia, Las Vegas now being slightly more intriguing than Buffalo, Georgia, or Halifax and Albany because they're both completely healthy. But Las Vegas is still searching for their first win, but Philly could honestly be getting good momentum moving into a tough stretch
Yeah,
in
final
their
game
season.
of the 3-game opening road trip too for the Wings.
Yep. So they get to go back home on a win, feeling good. Like there's so much that happens in that game as well, and it kicks off the week. Like
Yeah,
everybody knows the kickoff game of the week kind of just sets the tone for the entire week. Like that game's real big now that I think about it.
the biggest game on paper to me, and just of intrigue that I will be 100% like. To me, this is like a solo screen game. Like if you have to pick one game for me this week, it is the first game on the schedule for Saturday. Panther City at Rochester. Two surging teams. Like Panther City's played multiple games already. Like they're 2-2, but like they've been close in their 2 losses to Colorado and Saskatchewan, both by 3 goals or less, which is impressive for them. And they beat Las Vegas twice, beating teams that they should beat. And then Rochester being undefeated. Like this is just a fun, like who's who type of matchup. Like this is kind of like an assert your dominance cross conference matchup, and I love it. Like I want this game to pop. I really hope this game brings it. Connor Fields versus this Panther City offense too is super intriguing. Like, producer Donnie versus Connor Fields, like, let's go. I'm very excited for Panther City and Rochester. I'm stamping it right now before we even get into picks. That's my game of the week. That's my game of the week.
I don't.
And if you would have asked me that like 4 weeks ago, I would have called you crazy. Because we didn't see Rochester being this good right now. And Panther City, like we thought they'd be, taking another step forward from last year, but they look great in their 2 wins, and in their losses they haven't looked bad, which I think is a good sign for them in year 2. I'm excited about this game a lot.
It's between that and Calgary and Colorado. That one also literally screams at me. It's such an intriguing matchup.
Yeah, that's my other like game that I'm locked in for the late slate. Like I'm 100% watching that game. I don't care that it's a 10 o'clock first face off. Like sign me up.
I think I might do PIP for that and just run Vancouver and San Diego on the smaller screen.
Yeah.
It's
that gets smaller screen, no sound.
Yeah, for real.
Calgary, Colorado is going to be a battle. And I think this is Colorado's first home game, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they hosted.
They were at Panther City before Christmas break. And
they
were at
opened up on the road. Yeah.
So this is their first home game since winning the title as well. So that's something to take into account just in terms of, vibes and energy and, that type of adrenaline and stuff going into that game for Colorado. But I love this slate of games this week, and I think Toronto, New York is also very sneaky. Shout out to Peter Schwartz, put out a great article featuring our guy Nick Rose with his love for trading cards. We said, is it time for OTB and Nick Rose to lead the charge for NLL trading cards? I think it's been too long that hasn't happened. Like, you see some here and there pop up. I do have, we will have a mail time segment in the next week or so, which is exciting. You guys know we opened the Colin Squires autograph ball. We do have more mail time coming, so that's going to be fun. But, you see some random cards here and there. I also did find out, Deej, I don't know if you saw my tweet, Topps, Allen and Ginter, 2022 MLB, Charlotte North has a card.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
I did see that.
I am on the hunt for a Charlotte North card as well. I think we need NLL cards, whether it's through Upper Deck, Topps, Fanatics, because I know Fanatics is, acquiring Topps, or if that's still happening or not, I don't know. But, give us NLL cards. It would be fire. just thinking about like the relic cards for those, the autographs across the board for guys that just strictly play NLL. Need it. So shout out to Rosie. That's another guy we need to do, no matter what type of cards they are. Just open cards with Nick Rose. And we need to get Nick Rose on the pod.
ASAP.
So I think without any further ado, Deej, it is time for the first time in 2023 to feed some ducks and make our NLL Week 6 Picks of the Week, powered by our friends over at Pickup. You guys can go to playpickup.com, sign up with your phone number. No need to remember a password, username, or any of that. And play the hottest headlines in sports, rack up points on your fan profiles, cash them in for prizes on the Pickup Marketplace. That's playpickup.com. Deej, it all starts tonight as we record this Friday morning, 10:30 p.m. Eastern Time. All of our East Coast people, get your caffeine on deck. It's the Philadelphia Wings and the Las Vegas Desert Dogs. You already know where I'm going. I can't go against the boys. They feel like they're turning a corner. You know, that opening week loss to Halifax might have been just a blip on the radar. Halifax was a much better team than we expected, but I think the Wings are turning a corner after that gutsy performance against the Georgia Swarm pre-Christmas break. Give me the Wingies. I think the Wings cash out in Vegas.
This one's tough because this game is held in Vegas. The crowd they pulled in for their opener. Granted, they lost by what, 1 or 2
They
or
lost by
whatever?
6. It was 9-3.
In their opener?
Yeah,
Their
their
home
home
opener?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, the energy was still crazy. It was like really hype energy. But I don't think they can stop one man that has been on a tear so far to start this year. Blaze Reardon is on track for 72 goals. Or 72 points or something like. I think it's
Great
goals.
stat.
Though.
Great stat.
It has never scored more than 18 goals in a season. Keep that in respect.
Did he not score 20 last year? It might have been 20 points.
I think it was 20 points.
I'm going to pull up Blaze's numbers right now just to...
Because I remember seeing it on Twitter. Somebody was talking about like what he's projected this year and how he's never had more than so many.
Okay, there's no player stats right now because the NLL is still trying to figure out their stats.
Let's go. Yeah. But yeah, so he's having a career year. You know, whether I got the numbers right or not, he's having a career year. I don't think Las Vegas has anything to stop him quite yet. So he's going to be a big point in that. But then, you know, playing off of him is Rambo and, you know, Russell Terrace and everyone else. So
Ben McIntosh crashing the net.
I don't see the offense getting stopped this week. I got Las Vegas, or I got Philly.
Next matchup is my game of the week. Panther City at Rochester. Love both of these teams. I think they're, you know, on good trajectories for this season and moving forward. But right now, Deej, in my opinion, I can't pick against the Rochester Nighthawks. Connor Fields is on an MVP type run, like you just mentioned with Blaze. Those two guys are in the early MVP candidacy for me. You know, Rochester's goalie play has been stellar this year. And that's been, you know, I looked at the kind of preview here on the NLL website for this game. That's going to be what determines this. Nick Damuta has been great for Panther City, but goals against for Panther City this season, 37. Their goals for is 40. And if you listen to Underground Sports Philadelphia, you know we love a good goal differential. The goal differential is 3 for Panther City, a +3. The goal differential for Rochester this year, 41 goals for, 31 against for a +10. Goals per game, Rochester's averaging 13, Panther City's averaging 10. That speaks to me. Numbers never lie. Give me the Rochester Nighthawks to stay undefeated.
Panther City may be playing well, but I just realized that Rochester has a lot of comparisons to one of my favorite teams, the Green Bay Packers. Kind of a stellar guy in Connor Fields, or sorry, who am I thinking of? Sean Evans. No, he got traded.
No, he's in Vancouver. It's Connor Fields' team now.
Yeah, but who's the
Him
other
and Curtis
guy?
Knight.
Curtis Knight is very much like Aaron Rodgers. On the older side, a lot of people think he's starting to fizzle out, but he's still playing at a very good level. Connor Fields coming in on an Aaron Jones kind of thing, nice and young, balling out, doing his thing, sort of, the power drive of the offense. But they also are still coming off of winning like 3 championships in a row. And now they're kind of just in that limbo where they're like good, but not that good. Maybe Rochester's moving up higher on the ranks for me than I think they should be at this moment. But I like the comparisons, and that's the reason why I can't choose against them in this game. Like, they're a team that I trust in a game like this to just go out and handle business to start the year. Like, I feel like they're going at this in a very business logical sense. Like, this is our first game of the year, like first project. We have to do well on this so that we do well for the rest of the year. Like, I don't see Rochester losing this game.
The next matchup on Saturday, I should mention the Wings Vegas game is the only Friday game. Everything else is on Saturday. Next Saturday matchup, Halifax heads to Albany. Should be an intriguing, interesting matchup. But again, just like Rochester, playing really well. Halifax, even though they're coming off that loss to Buffalo, their offense has looked stellar. I think this game is going to be very close, but I'm going to take the Thunderbirds to get a big-time road win over the Albany Firewolves.
I can only go T-Birds because of Joe Nardella.
It's the Albany Firebirds versus the Halifax Thunderwolves. The amount of times our friend Carly, Kicks by Carly, has accidentally texted me those two teams like that is hilarious.
Maybe it's not an accident anymore.
Yeah, Halifax, the offense is there. I think Albany's still trying to figure some things out on offense, just in the box style, even though they are Albany Firewater Drip Dogs.
I think they're good, though. I think their offensive stuff is fine. I just don't think they'll have the ball in their sticks enough.
It's tough to beat Jake Withers without a Jake Withers counter, which is Joe Nardella.
Yep.
The next game, Buffalo heads down to Georgia to take on your boy, everybody's boy, the people's champ, Lyle Thompson, and the Georgia Swarm. I don't see how you can pick against Buffalo right now. They got a big-time win pre-New Year's Eve, and the offense seemed to find a groove. They're going up against a much more inexperienced goalie, inexperienced defense than what Halifax presented to them. Give me the Buffalo Bandits on the road to get another massive win. It's going to be a tough one for Georgia.
It comes down to the goalie more than the defense. I think the defense can step up. Those guys, some of those guys have been in this position before. They know how to play against guys. It's just tough playing with a goalie you're not comfortable with. I've been there before, stepping in with a goalie that you don't really know what's going to happen. It makes you play a little more tense, makes you play harder, and it's not the same. So I think those guys will step up and do their part, but there's going to be tough saves that need to be made that just might not happen due to the lack of experience. So that's the only reason I can't choose Georgia over Buffalo.
New
I
Year,
got a lot of trust and love for a lot.
New Year, we're on the same page 4 games in. We'll see if it continues here. 7:30 Eastern time. I'm not sure if I'll be at this game yet or not. Follow me on the socials, you'll know. The New York Riptide host the Toronto Rock. This is another matchup that's like a sneaky, could be rivalry. Tom Schreiber's obviously from Long Island.
He should just come play for the Riptide.
Just a sneaky, fun matchup, in my opinion. I'm torn on this one, so I want to hear your perspective on this Toronto Rock New York Riptide matchup, Deej. How do you feel about your New York Riptide in the new year?
I want to go new year, new team. what happened in December don't matter. But that's not logical nor realistic. We don't know if Calvin Crawford's going to play. We don't know what it's going to look like if he does play, how much he plays, how effective and how much he's in the offense. Or we don't know what it's going to look like if he doesn't play. Right. We don't know who they're going to run with, what kind of sets they're going to run. It's just so much in the air for the Riptide right now. Callum Crawford coming back is very good for them. I think that if he can come back this week and kind of get into it in the next few weeks, they'll find their groove and be in a good spot. The longer he sits out, the more questions that arise. I think the defense and Orleman are doing their job back there. They just have to find a way to, one, push transition a little faster and get some help there in the transition, and then two, just get going in their set a little faster on offense to give themselves more chances at more shots. But also, got to crash sports. It's some crazy stat that's like 22.6% of the time or something like that. Teams are scoring off the reset. Got to get a shot clock reset and get that tired D to get a chance at shots. They're just not doing those kind of things. So I can't go with New York this week because of all the uncertainty around Callum Crawford and what the offense looks like with or without him.
Coming into 2023, DG Stats over here. Dropping numbies on the people.
A little bit.
I agree. I think Toronto, they gotta, come out of the gates here pretty hot. They're 1-2. I don't think they can afford to drop to 1-3. Just the way with how the East has shaken up so far early in the season, they got to find a groove. I think this game is going to be very close, in my opinion, no matter if Callum plays or not. I think they're just very similar in a lot of ways. But my biggest thing is if Toronto is on the power play, like I think they will be, they have Corey Small. And he's one of the best power play offensive lefties the league has. And I think that's a weapon in and of itself. You have Tom Schreiber coming home to play on Long Island. Give me the Rock in a close matchup. But I think it'll be you never want to say, it's a good loss. It'll be a good loss for the Riptide. But we're both going Toronto, still on the same page, heading into our next game of the week. The Calgary Roughnecks at the Colorado Mammoth. First home game for the defending champs since winning the title. First home game since Game 2 of the NLL Finals. This is going to be a doozy. I think it's going to be scrappy. I think it's going to be a physical game. Great goalie matchup between Christian Del Bianco and Dylan Ward. I just don't know how you can pick against the champs in, their first home. The loud house is going to be... They're going to redefine the word loud in this game. I think Colorado is going to have a massive home floor advantage. How do you feel about this one, though?
This is tough, if I'm being honest.
I agree.
This is extremely tough, but I am about to take a quick peek. This game is on ESPNU, which is crazy.
Yeah.
That's intriguing. It's so tough because the Mammoth kicked them out in the playoffs.
Right.
Also spoiled their last championship ceremony.
The Mammoth beat Calgary in there.
In 2019, 2020, when they were celebrating that ceremony. So there's so much emotion into this game. And, I mean, going back to numbies that you were talking with Rochester and Panther City, the numbers are eerily similar, with Colorado or Calgary putting up 13, only letting up 10, while Panther City or Colorado's putting up 9 and letting in 13.
And granted, Calgary has a game in hand for everybody at home, too. Calgary's played 3. Colorado's only played 2.
Yep.
The other thing that stands out to me with those numbers, in 2 games, Colorado has 18 goals. Their offense has not gotten going at all.
They're literally averaging 9 goals. Like, that's it. They put up 12, and then they put up 7, I think it was.
I don't even know
because they won
that much.
Or no, sorry, 6, because they won 12-9 against Panther City.
Yeah.
So they had 6 in their first game against Saskatchewan. So it's like, that's not good. Like 12 against Panther City is expected. I honestly wanted you to score more than 12 against Panther City, and then dropping 6 on what is and has been a very good Saskatchewan squad, but still, you should be putting up more than 6 even if you lose. Their offense is troublesome. Calgary's played very well this year. They have CDB in the back. So that's also there. So it's just like I can't go against them right now with what they have. Tyler Pace playing at an all-time level. They still have Hayden Dixon back there. They still have the Kinger and Jesse King. Zach Currier is killing the transition game like he has been the past couple of years. Haywires has also been fantastic. I don't know. I don't see Eli Salama's playing well. Like, Calgary's got a lot of good markers. I got to go with Calgary.
I love every argument you just made. Something in my brain is telling me the time off for Colorado was good.
The only thing that this was hard because of home field. Colorado they got the Loud House. They're excited to be back. As the players, the fans are excited to be back. They haven't seen anything since Game 2 of the finals last year. Like, it's going to be a lot of energy and juice in the building, but I just haven't seen the fight from Colorado to give them the nod over what has been a very good Calgary team in terms of what they lost in the past 2 years.
I'm going to go with Colorado just for the home floor. I think it's going to be absolutely bonkos. And we got a new TV at the crib for Christmas for my parents with a sound bar. I can't wait to hear the Loud House through the sound bar. So be loud, Colorado. I'm going to go with the Mammoth for our first split pick of the year. And then final game of the weekend at 10 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday as well. Vancouver, San Diego. I don't think we have to explain it too much. I think we're both going with the Super Seals.
Yep.
So there it is. To recap our picks, DJ and I are both going with the Philadelphia Wings, the Rochester Nighthawks, the Halifax Thunderbirds, the Buffalo Bandits, the Toronto Rock. DJ has Calgary, which I don't hate and wouldn't be surprised if they win. I'm going Colorado, and then we're both going with San Diego. And those are your Week 6 picks of the week for the NLL powered by Pickup. Shifting gears, we've got a schedule to talk about. The 2023 PLL schedule has been released with one hell of an announcement video. Very excited for this schedule. We're going to dive into it. I'm going to let you guys know where I will be this regular season because I know where I'll be already. Looking for, hotels as we speak, which is very exciting. But here is the schedule for the 2023 PLL regular season. It looks like this. We are kicking things off as we knew last season already, back in Albany for opening weekend, which is awesome. Albany's a great atmosphere. Deej got to go to Albany last year. We loved it. It was a fun time, hell of a weekend. We will be in Albany, both of us, opening weekend. Then we got another repeat from last year, and I'm very happy for the people down in this city. They deserve it. I think they showed out last year. Going back to American Legion Memorial Stadium, Week 2 will be in Charlotte, North Carolina. Shout out Michael Harrison.
That's
Then
a
week
maybe.
3. It's a maybe for Deej. It's
Charlotte
not
is a maybe.
It's not on my list. Bit too far, bit too much travel there for back-to-back travel weekends for me, but we're back out on the road week 3, ladies and gents. I'm so excited for this city to be back on the PLL schedule, but at a new location for the first time at Ohio State Lacrosse Stadium. Week 3, we will be in Columbus, Ohio. I will be in Columbus. Deej will be in Columbus.
It's a maybe. I got to check coaching schedule.
That would be the first one where you don't fly in here.
I know. If I'm
be like,
free,
see you there.
I will see you there. If I'm free, I am there. What I'm really hoping is to double up because we are doing a tournament out in Columbus. So it would be nuts if it was that same weekend. I obviously would be late and miss some stuff, but I'd kind of just be able to slide right over. I got a free hotel. I honestly would let you crash in it. So that's also free. Like, you know what I mean? Like that could be a very good weekend.
I will 1000% be in Columbus, Ohio. I have very good close friends who live in Columbus. I already texted them, see you in June. They're very excited. I loved Columbus weekend. Deej and I were both there, but we didn't know each other yet. That was the birth of the Let's Go Redwoods chant. So very excited to be back in Columbus. And I mean, I know you're not a fan of the OH, but I'm excited to see that stadium.
I haven't seen the Lacrosse Stadium yet. So.
I like going to new place. Like, even if it's the same city, I like going to new places. Not that the Columbus Crew Stadium was terrible. It was great.
Right.
Plus, best barbecue I've ever had in Columbus, Ohio. Legacy Smokehouse, shout out. Week 4, in July, we move on. We're staying in the Midwest, going back to Minnesota. That seems like a staple that we can kind of just always count on being on the schedule now, is TCO Stadium in Minneapolis.
I'm going to go to that one.
July 7th to the 9th. Deej hitting boots on the ground in Minnesota for the first time.
Yep.
Then we go back to one of the most iconic weekends of 2022, July 14th to the 16th, Fairfield, Connecticut at Rafferty Stadium. I will be in Fairfield, Connecticut.
That's a maybe for me.
I might be pulling Pat Pitts to Fairfield, Connecticut as well.
I hope I can come. I really do.
He said it's only about a 2.5-hour drive. I said, brother, lacrosse and pizza. That's all you need to know. And he said, I love it. So I will be in Fairfield. Deej, it's a maybe. Then we have All-Star Weekend to be determined, July 21st to the 23rd. Don't know. Depends on where it is, quite frankly. And
not.
If it's a one-day thing, unless it's a drivable distance, probably not going to be there, but we'll see. Then we move to...
Is it there at Gillette again?
I hope not.
Due to them being in Fairfield already.
But it was Minnesota and then Gillette, so...
Yeah, that's
year.
true. It could be anywhere.
Then after All-Star, we're going back down to the Ford Center at the Star in Frisco, a.k.a. Dallas, Texas.
I'm there.
I will not be in Dallas. But I will be at this next stop. It's the iconic...
We going?
The iconic venue. You're going to Baltimore?
Oh, nope. Sorry, I was thinking about the wrong one.
Oh, yeah. Baltimore. No. I will be in Baltimore. It is one of my favorite weekends of the year, this time in August instead of June. But I will be in Baltimore for the Pro Lacrosse Hall of Fame induction as well. Very excited for that. Over there at Homewood Field. Then August 11th to the 13th, going back to Peter Barton Stadium in Denver, Colorado.
I'm there.
I will not be in Denver. Deej will be. Then we're going August 18th to the 20th out to Cheney Stadium, which I think is new venue. Tacoma, a.k.a. Seattle, Washington. I will not be in Seattle.
Colin, Eli, what up? Because I'm about to slide.
And then the final week of the regular season. Obviously, another staple that I don't know why we didn't say this when we were going through our prediction list. This is always going to be on the schedule.
I think we did throw it in there. It was just like a quick oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Zions Bank Stadium, Salt Lake City, Utah, August 25th to the 27th. I will not be there because I'll be saving up for the postseason.
Yeah, I'm Gucci on Salt Lake.
As the postseason kicks off, quarterfinals weekend, they got the postseason schedule from the pod, Deej. Kicking it off, your birthday weekend in Boston.
Just wish they would have changed it. I can't keep going to the same place for my birthday, y'all. You got to give me something new.
I'm told Pat Pitts will be at quarterfinals.
Okay.
So, Boston quarterfinals weekend. They listened to the pod. They listened to me for this one. Semifinals weekend, Long Island, New York. Thank the Lord.
Stevie Mac.
I'm just so
what
happy.
Up, kid?
I'm so happy that Long Island is a postseason spot instead of regular season.
Yeah, I can finally go.
Ugh, it's the best. I'm so happy. Go. September 8th to the 10th is Long Island. My guess is that's going to be either the Friday or the Saturday because they're not going to try to compete with an NFL Sunday for semifinals and then usually championship game being on a Sunday. Doubt they're going to do that back-to-back weeks. Please listen to that, guys.
They did last year,
Friday night semifinals would be sweet.
Yeah, because I think they did Saturday, Sunday last year. Or just Saturday.
I think it was just Saturday in D.C. because it was just one day.
Yeah.
And then the champions will be crowned once again in my backyard, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, at good old Subaru Park. It's how it should be.
We love a good Subaru.
We love a good Philadelphia, Pennsylvania championship.
I mean, if Subaru wanted to sponsor us, there is a certain car of theirs that I like that I'm not going to go too far in because we don't do free ads. But if I happen to get one of those, I'd drive the hell out of it.
I'm just happy the championship game is in the backyard. I know the city, so when we're popping out, you already know we're going to be in Philly. So for me,
Columbus is my biggest. Because I'm happy to be back in the Midwest. It's we need this bad.
I'll be in Albany, Columbus, Fairfield, and Baltimore during the regular season, and then I'll be at all three postseason stops. Deej is going to be at a lot more weekends than I will be, but that's because we just got to have boots on the ground whenever we can. We just got to do it. We're going to be at as many weekends as possible, especially the postseason. So if you're going to be at any of those weekends, let us know. We'd love to link up with you guys, as we always do when we're out on the road. We're pretty close, Deej. We're pretty close. We're recording this January 6th, and we're like 6 months away, 5 months away. Yeah, 5 months away. I can smell it. I can smell the stadium food in my nostrils. I can't wait.
I can smell all the early morning flights because I'm definitely not flying out at night.
I can just I when I saw Columbus, I was like, 8-hour drive through Pennsylvania. Let's fucking go.
Or you could just fly in.
Nah, I love that drive.
It's
so easy and just chill. I will have my radio fixed for that drive, though. Best believe.
But I'm saying I can't do it.
Best believe, and my air conditioning will be fixed.
You need to fix
for that drive.
First and foremost. You can just put a speaker in the car if you really need to.
But that drive is so relaxing. When I did that in 2019 for the playoffs, I was like, man, this is great. I'm just vibing by myself. Just fucking straight through Pennsylvania. It's like, oh, you're out of Pennsylvania. You're here. Awesome.
If you change your mind, I can scoop you from the Detroit airport on the way.
We'll figure it out.
It's a couple different airports, really, you can fly into. Just saying, if you change your mind, that is doable. That is doable.
But either way, Columbus being back on the schedule is great.
Huge.
It was massive in 2019 for the playoffs. I'm excited for a regular season Columbus. I know you're not an OH guy, but
it is what it is.
We should try to get their head coach on the show.
Along with the one guy that the one guy knows.
The one guy that the one guy knows.
Mitchell Pelkey.
Oh, true. Yes.
Yeah, because it doesn't like
we can make that happen
or whatever.
Yeah, we can definitely get that to happen. I know multiple people that have connections to him. So, plus Terry. We can get Terry back on the show that week, but
I'd be down.
Super stoked for PLL season, and I'm like, when we're talking PLL here, I'm like 82% certain I'm finding a way to be at the championship game for anybody that's going.
What?
The other 18% is just me finding out if I can just be credentialed for that game.
Why not just credential yourself for the whole thing and then just show up for the championship?
Maybe. I just got to find out how they're doing it because there's no details yet. But
because
I definitely can't go through the entire tournament run because it's Tech Week for our musical that I work for.
You're about to make me fly in.
But I'll be there on the Sunday because our show closes on Saturday.
I come see the show.
Facts. We going under the sea, brother.
Man, I don't know. You might got me there. I'm about to look at this.
Plus, you got a room up here.
I could fly in on a Saturday.
Yo, it was mad funny. New Year's Eve, before the ball dropped, Matt was like, I gotta go take a nap, man. So I was like, is he napping in DJ's room?
But hey, that man's comfortable.
Oh, it's so funny.
He was out. I already know.
It was so funny.
Wait, where else was he supposed to go take a nap at? In the basement?
Oh,
in your bed?
Time out.
See? Flag on the play.
Oh, man. One last thing here, too, but before we get into it, like we said at the top of the show, guys, make sure you get your merch at PHI Apparel Company. Hoodies are live. Get your hoodies. It's hoodie season. We're going to be rocking hoodies pretty much all year round because they're so nice. They're so warm. They're comfortable. PHIapparel.co. Use code underground for 10% off all your merch from our awesome merch partners at PHI Apparel Company. Last segment here brought to you by our friends at Kenwood Beer. Guys, Wells Fargo Center got those big Kenny's wings season opening up at the Wells Fargo Center January 14th. Crack open a big Kenny at the Wings games. And you can also use that all-new and improved Kenny tracker to see who's got Kenwood beer on tap in the Philadelphia area. They're the best in the game. You got to be 21 or older to do so. And, of course, please drink responsibly. But go get your Kennys. Tweet us your Kennys and tag Kenwood Beer on social media. Last bit of news here, Deej. Kind of a big-time breaking news that happened on Thursday night. Bill Tierney will retire from coaching at the University of Denver, and I think just as a whole, following the 2023 NCAA season. Kind of caught Twitter by storm. Everybody was talking about it. I saw the college cross that used to be with SB Nation but are no longer there. They said, what are we going to talk about on the pod? Oh, my.
That was pretty much my reaction.
I sent that to you. You were like, whoa.
Yeah, because, you can't drop bombs like that on people right before the season. The season starts in a month. You can't do that.
Hey, he's going the Coach K route. He's like, hey, I'm retiring. I'm letting you all know now.
Until he pull out in a week and be like, I didn't say that. Also, Tom Brady. Hey, he said that, not me. I don't know why they put that out, but it wasn't me. I didn't do it. But no, I think he's really done, at least at the college level. But I mean, but I also don't know if he. When I say at least at the college level, I'm thinking more of maybe high school, maybe travel, learn to play, that kind of thing, just to continue to stay around the game. But I mean, the guy's up there in age. He's been around the game forever. He's done a lot of great things with the game, from out east to what he's done with building up the program in Denver, his own time playing the game and at the professional level and everything. Like, we know who Bill Tierney is. It's just a matter of how does he stay connected to the game? Is he an analyst? Is he a guy who donates, to programs around the country and pops in, does clinics, or is he going to go coach at another level? We kind of don't know, but the best we can do for now is enjoy his final season with Denver and see what they have to put out. And it's going to be interesting now watching this Denver team and them knowing the legacy of Bill Tierney and knowing that, like, this is the last ride for him, and a lot hangs on this year, and this team will forever be looked at, as his last team. So it's a different kind of pressure and respect in that. So that's kind of an interesting look.
Kind of happy we waited to record. We were going to record last night, but we waited because Bill Tierney's retirement press conference is going on right now. Kevin Brown, friend of the program, is tweeting like some quotes and stuff from it. Coach Tierney opened with, just humbled and thankful to be able to have this experience on my terms, have my family and my team as supportive as they've been. Not much will change in that associate head coach Matt Brown will keep running the team, and I'll keep yelling at the refs. He said he knew he had some room to wiggle with last contract extension through 2024, but his why now is tied to his greatest fear of his team finding out about his retirement before he had a chance to tell them himself, and wants one last season to get the culture back after losing a lot of talent. He says he's been overwhelmed, humbled, moved from the outpouring of support from the last 18 hours, especially from opposing coaches and recruits that opted to play elsewhere. But the message that stuck out most was from a parent of a recruit who thanked him for taking his son in as a fringe C+ student and transformed him into a B student and PLL player. It reminded me of That's Why We Do This Thing. Who is that player? There's only a handful.
Go through that again. The list.
The list of Denver players?
No, the list of things that he was talking about this player.
A parent of a recruit who thanked him for taking his son in as a fringe C+ student and transformed him into a B student and PLL player. So the Denver guys off the top of my head are Trevor. It's definitely not Trevor, because Trevor's like dummy smart.
Jack Hanna has to be way too smart.
Jack Hanna, Danny Logan, Colin Squires.
Is it? Who else could it be, though?
I gotta see who else is Denver grad.
Don't they have like a players tab somewhere?
Yeah, with teams. Oh, here we go. I know it's a bunch of Atlas guys. Oh, well, TD went to Denver for a short stint.
Mm-hmm. But it's not him. Eric Law can't be.
No.
Where did Zach Currier go to school? Is it?
The more I look, the more I start to think it's common.
TD. Where's this? Why is the list not showing up? Did Jax Morrill, I think, went to Denver.
Maybe. Why do I feel like he didn't?
He went to Yale. That's what I thought. Oh, but he did go to Denver for a bit. And then I think he transferred to Yale. So it can't be Jackson Morrill.
Definitely not.
Yeah, he transferred to Yale after starting at Denver.
Oh, duh. Here we go. So TD, Trevor, Eric Law, Danny Logan, Jackson Morrill, Jack Hanna, Colin Squires, and Ethan Walker.
We got to bring him on to clear this up. We got to know if it's him or if it's somebody else. It's got to be like him or Danny Logan.
I think it's either Colin or Jack Hanna or Ethan Walker.
I don't think it's Jack Hanna.
I don't know. That picture of him at the Eagles game.
Yeah, you got a point.
He looks like he could have gone in and, like, you got to think, like, this is like he's coming in like average student and then like gets whipped into shape a little bit and becomes a B student. I don't know. Comment on YouTube who you think the Denver athlete was that Coach Tierney was referencing there in his press conference on YouTube. YouTube.com/@undergroundsportsphiladelphia. I want to see if there's any more quotes before we wrap up here. Matt Kinnear's also.
I'm telling you, I think.
Here we go. One last quote to wrap it up. There are things that I get more credit than I probably deserve. First being those Princeton defenses. Coach Tierney credits Hopkins defensive coordinator Freddie Smith for teaching him the concepts of driving down alleys, taking away X, and combine that with high pressure and more slides. Telling young coaches to not have that one system and not shove it down kids' throats if it's not working. Using his old square peg in a round hole analogy. Says it'll be tested this year and they'll need to be creative offensively at Denver during this season. I wonder if, like, obviously the PLL has, like, the Pro Lacrosse Hall of Fame. I wonder if one day we'll eventually just get to the Lacrosse Hall of Fame, like basketball is, where it's just, like, the National Basketball Hall of Fame. Where, like, you have the WNBA, you have college. Like, I wonder if lacrosse will eventually just, like, kumbaya, come together, and the entire Lacrosse Hall of Fame is just PLL, NLL, you have MLL guys, you have college, men and women, you have Athletes Unlimited, stuff like that. That'd be cool.
I'm down for it. I think it.
Bill Tierney's obviously, like, undisputed, like, first ballot, unanimous Hall of Famer.
Most definitely. I think in due time. It's one of those. The sport still has to grow a little bit before it can get there, but once it does, it's all there for it.
Yeah. So congrats to Coach Tierney. It's going to be one hell of a season for Denver. Emotional season. But that's all we got for you guys for this 2023 intro episode of the allegedly award-nominated, honorably mentioned, number 9 NCAA ranked Outside the Box podcast, the official lacrosse podcast on the Underground Sports Philadelphia Podcast Network. Make sure you guys are following us at OTB LaxPod, Twitter, Instagram. Follow Deej on Twitter at SCS_next great. Follow me at KBIZZL311. Also, happy birthday to the Water Dogs. 3 years now since the Water Dogs were announced, which was January 1st, 2020. Very cool. 3 years later, you have a championship under your belts. So shout out to Coach Copeland and the Dogs. Make sure you subscribe to the podcast feed on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. Leave those 5-star ratings and reviews. Oh, also, Deej, I found this out this spring. I'm essentially now the voice of Vineland High School sports.
Gang, gang.
Because I've been doing winter sports this year, and might be doing lacrosse in the spring.
Lacrosse in the spring.
See, I would baseball.
I would be, but
you're coaching.
I'm out there doing a coaching thing. So, but that's hype, dude.
Might be doing some lacrosse.
Lacrosse out there is sick though. So.
Not that we're very good, but
you'll see some very good kids probably.
100%.
So I mean, yeah.
Because I think we play the Prep, and I think we play St. Joe's.
Ooh.
Which is the schools of Charlie Kitchen and Bryce Young. So I'll see the boys.
Right. Like, what up?
Please, how we doing, fellas?
Don't scrape us too bad.
So yeah, that could be coming down the pipeline. I learned that last night. But make sure you subscribe to the podcast feed and subscribe to the Underground Sports Philadelphia YouTube channel. Full video episodes of OTB every single week. You get the OTB cast, you get card openings, and all of our other podcasts on the network as well. So go subscribe, smash that like button, ring the bell icon, comment down below your thoughts on everything Deej and I touched on this episode. Give us your picks of the week in the comment section as well, and share the channel with your friends. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers. We still don't have our 1K Gauntlet Challenge set for OTB, so drop your ideas as well in the comment section below. But this has been episode number 255 of the Outside the Box podcast. For Deej, I'm KB. Enjoy the games this weekend, everybody. And until next week, we are getting the heck up out of here. Peace.
Peace.